witches, blessed be. This is White Raven over here. Today is Monday, so happy Magic Monday to all of you guys. I welcome you to another Magic Monday. Thank you so much for being here. I have so much that I want to talk to you about, but I really don't want to make this video too long. There has been many questions in Facebook, in the YouTube channel, some messages in my website, White Raven and Witches Lair, and I want to address all of them. This past week, I posted a little post in my Facebook page because this week has been, as a matter of fact, I can't say these past 3 weeks have been very heavy for me. And I'm always thinking about you, but whenever I am going through hard times, I think even more about you because I feel like if White Raven is feeling this with all the magic that I do, protection, shielding, I do all these rituals to bounce that back, you know? And somebody like me that is always doing so much sometimes can feel a little bit tired, you know, with circumstances of life. I can only imagine how much more perhaps you are feeling. So I posted something the other night in my Facebook channel and I'm going to talk about it today. But before I go into the spell, which is the spell is called Bind by Fear. Before I go into that, I'm going to address some questions because there are questions that pertain to the spell that I'm going to do today, but pertain to all the spells. And this is something that you guys ask me a lot. Many of you guys ask me how to make yourself invisible when you are doing any type of hex or any type of magic. There's a few things that you can do to render yourself invisible from the people that, first of all, I digress. Give me 1 second. First of all, I don't think that people can know who's working them. They could suspect it's you, especially if they know that you are a witch and you're not in good terms with this person. So by default, they're going to think that it's you. But if you want to make your hex and your magic invisible to your target, these are some things that you can do. Number 1, this is agar powder, witches. And agar powder is easy to find online. It is kind of like gelatin, so they use it in food and you can use it in your kitchen. I have never used it for anything other than magic. But you put some agar powder in your hand and you rub your hands like this. Ooh, what a mess I missed. That is a way for you to render your magical workings invisible, okay? You can have this close to wherever it is that you do magic. Put it maybe in a shaker, like in a salt shaker. Put it in your hands before you do any type of spells. There you go. That's a way for you to render yourself invisible and your workings invisible. Another thing that you can do, and this is something that I learned from Miss Aida.
Bay
leaves. Yeah, I have many. So what you do, which is you're going to grab 4 nice
bay
leaves. Make sure they're not broken and cut and whatnot. There you go, 4 little leaves. And what you're going to do with these 4 little leaves, which is you're going to put one in every corner of your magical room or wherever it is that you are doing your spells. You render yourself invisible with this. Another thing that you can use, witches, is war water. Many of you guys ask me how to use war water. And one of the beauty of war water is that you can use to render yourself invisible by simply pouring this around the space where you are working magic. Of course, if you do not have a specific room dedicated just for magic, remember that war water may stain your floor, so keep that in mind. Another thing that we can use, witches, is witch's salt, witch's black salt, which is not the one that I have in my website, the black salt infused with silver. Not the same thing. I recently made this witch's black salt. It's really nice and it has taken me a very long time to finally kind of like cure this recipe. So I'm excited to have it. It'll be in the website pretty soon. If you have witch's black salt, you can use it around your perimeter to render yourself invisible, as well as for protection. So those are a few things that you can do to render yourself invisible whenever it is that you're working magic and you don't want your target to know that that magic is coming from you. Another question that I get asked very often is how to clean yourself after you finish doing your magic. First of all, witches, you can have a bowl with water and a pinch of salt. When you finish doing your spell, wash your hands in that bowl with salt water. And then you can go and take a bath or a shower. I have some salt in my website that I use myself after doing heavy magic. One of the ones that I really like a lot, becoming one of my favorite salts, is this one. The Evil Away Cleansing Bath Salts. This is one of my favorites. Another one that I really like is Florida Water Bath Salts. I'm going to put a picture over here of those salts. They are extremely good in order for you to bathe yourself after you finish doing any type of heavy magic. The good thing is, which is that is also Florida water soap that you can use. You also have Florida water that you can pour on you when you're taking a bath or a shower. And also something that I recently put in my website, sulfur soup. I promise you it does not smell like sulfur. It smells actually really good. Right here. Jabón de azufre. These are some easy ways that you can use to cleanse yourself once you finish doing any type of heavy magic. Listen, which is the easiest thing. If you have water and salt, that's what you're going to use to bathe yourself as well. But the most important thing is, which is that whatever it is that you were feeling and all the energy that you raise in order to send out your magic, the most important thing that stay in the spell. That does not, you cut it off. That's it. You get it out of you put it in your spell, and you send it out there. That is the most important thing. So please be mindful of that. The next thing that people ask me is, White Raven, how do you do your voodoo dolls? Listen, which is doing a voodoo doll is actually rather simple. You make your voodoo doll as complicated and as elaborated as you want. Right now, I bought all these little dolls, all the colors of the rainbow. You can use something like that as a voodoo doll. Okay? You can use a Barbie. And go to the dollar store and buy Barbies and cans. I don't know if they sell that in the dollar store. I'm assuming they do. But you have these type of things that you can use to make your own voodoo doll. So the easiest thing to do, use some butcher's paper, some brown paper, and then you are going to start wrapping that paper, molding it into the shape of a person. And it's going to look something like this. These are some of the voodoo dolls that I made. Very simple witches, super easy. Having said all this, making the voodoo doll is very easy, but it's very important, which is that you have in the back of your head that you need to link your voodoo doll to your target, which means this voodoo doll has to have items inside that belongs to your target. Something that is going to link your doll to your target and your target to your doll. After you create your voodoo doll, which is you have to awaken this voodoo doll. There's many rituals and many different ways for you to awaken your voodoo doll. The way that I do it is what makes me feel like I'm actually awakening this voodoo doll is by naming the voodoo doll and breathing on the voodoo doll. Voodoo doll, I name you John Doe, and everything that I do to you, John Doe is going to feel, and everything that I tell you, John Doe is going to hear. And everything that I inflict upon you, John Doe is going to suffer. After you do this, witches, you breathe on the doll 3 times. Awaken. And you awaken your doll. That is the way that you link and you activate your voodoo doll. So thank you so much for listening to the introduction of this video. So now let's get into the spell. It's been a little bit of a hard time this past couple of weeks for me. And that makes me think a lot about hardship in sad situations or unjust situations that perhaps many of you are living. And sometimes, right when we're about to go to bed and we are trying to sleep, I mean, it happens. It happens to all of us, witches. You can't sleep. You have anxiety. Something really unjust has happened to you during the day. Perhaps you have an ugly neighbor that just drove you crazy today and things keep escalating and it does not matter how you talk to this person. This human being just does not budge. Just not a nice person. Or perhaps at work, you keep enduring this bully coworker or somebody that is humiliating threatening you, bullying you day in and day out. But guess what? You need the money. You need the money of your work to put food in your mouth, to take care of your children. And you perhaps are just in bed thinking about everything that you endured today, and you have to repeat it all over again tomorrow. Witches, have you been in a court case? You have probably a court case tomorrow. You cannot sleep tonight because you are so anxious, because maybe it's not only your enemy in court, but I've been there. The judge is evil towards you. Have you ever maybe you have a female judge, and you think that she's going to be the one helping you, but the opposite, she's the one helping your ex-evil husband. Have you ever been through there? Listen, witches, this spell is for you. Do you work in retail, sales, and you have evil clients? And let me tell you, witches, people lately is so entitled. Everybody gets offended about everything. Nobody else has thick skin. And you have all these clients that come to the store and they think that because they're the client, they are always right, and they have the right to walk all over you, humiliate you, hurt you, yell at you, point at you, and they have all this anger, all this hatred. They make you feel so little. Perhaps tomorrow you have to do it all over again. There's evil people out there. And the point is, which is that now you are in bed, you are trying to close your eyes and fall asleep, and you can't. Because that anxiety, that sadness, that idea is running in your head that you have to do this all over again tomorrow. Cannot even fall asleep because you close your eyes and every nerve in your body is twitching, it is jolting, it is jumping. Your eyelids don't even rest. You're having an anxiety attack. You're having some time of breakdown. Listen, witches, this spell is for you. What we're going to do today is so simple, and I want this to be simple because if you're watching this right now and you're going through that situation, I don't want you to have a lot of trouble making this little ritual. The idea of this ritual is for you to get all that pain out of you, put it in your doll, and we are going to bind that evil doer with fear. So let me show you what we're going to do. So which is, we are going to make a voodoo doll. In this particular case, if you're doing this in the heat of the moment and you don't have anything that you can link this doll to the person, it is then very important that in a piece of paper, you write down the name of the person, last name of the person, all the information that you know about this person. Like, for example, Judge so-and-so that is going to see my case tomorrow against so-and-so, or the name of your neighbor, or the name of your coworker, or the name of that evil client that was so mean to you. Once you do that, you're going to stuff this dolly with that. Okay, and then you breathe on your doll and you awaken your doll. This particular doll is going to have eyes. You do not want to cover the eyes, okay? Do not cover the eyes. You want your dolly to see. Very important. We don't care about the mouth. It doesn't have to have a mouth. This person talks a lot. Just shut its mouth with the cord. But you, for sure, you want this dolly to have eyes. I have these tea lights in the website. They are for hexing witches. These are called White Raven hexing tea light candles. They're already prepared. Whenever you're doing a hex or you're transferring heavy energy, dark energy, or you are just punishing someone, this is a good little candle that you can use, especially if you do this at night before going to bed, so you don't have to be sitting down waiting for this candle to burn all night long, right? Light it up. We're going to put it to the side, witches. It's important, witches, that you concentrate now, that you get everything that is within you and you put it in your doll. You think about what happened, arise that energy in your skin and make it travel from all of your skin to your hands, and you are going to deposit that into this doll. Everything you feel, you're going to put it back in here. And now you are going to grab a black cord and we are going to bind this doll. If you can write this chant in a paper, then do so and have it in front of you and read it while you are binding this doll. The chant is going to go something like this. from the dark places where shadows crawl. I bind you now, I bind you all. With threads of fear, I twist and weave your evil ways. You must now leave. Stop your evil, feel the dread. By this binding, your power is shed. In the name of fear, I seal your fate. Dark places claim you. It is too late. Okay, which is once you finish binding the doll, make a little knot. And if you have to repeat the chant, which is you repeat that chant as many times as you think you need to repeat it. The idea is for you to get it out of you and put it in here, charge this doll, and reverse the evil. Now, as you can tell, I left a piece of cord hanging over here. What we're going to do now, which is we are going to go to a spot in your house that you don't like, or a spot in your house that could inflict fear into this voodoo doll. So it could be your attic. If you have a basement, then you can go to your basement. If you have a backyard in which you have a lot of like spiders lurk around, or you have water close to your house, or perhaps you have a place that is close to a septic tank, or a place that just gives you the creeps, we are going to hang this dolly upside down, just like this. So I do have a place in my house that I think it will be very perfect for this doll. So come with me, let's go hang it in there. Okay, witches, so I am in a place that I really dislike in my home. This is the dolly right here. That is a hole. I'm in my basement, and this is a water pump. I really dislike this place over here. So what I'm gonna do, which is I'm going to tie this doll head down, looking at the pump. I think that if I was this voodoo doll, I will feel very scared to be put in here. And this is where this voodoo doll is going to live now, right there, hanging by the hole in my water pump, which is one of the most disliked places to me in this house. Now there's light in here because I'm filming, but once I shut this light, this room is pretty much locked and closed and cold and kind of like smelly and just nightmarish. So this is what I'm gonna do whenever this person is even thinking about hurting me. The fear that is going to be running to this person's veins and mind and psyche is going to be unreal. This is what you want to do, and which is be at ease. You are only returning what this person has done to you. You're not doing anything wrong. You're getting it out of you, and you're going to put it in here. Bye-bye, evildoer. And that's it, witches. I really hope that you enjoyed this little video. I hope that it makes a lot of sense to you. And I hope that it kind of like empowers, like, yeah, heck yeah, I can do that. I can transfer all this pain and all this anger into a doll and do this absolutely 100%. And be at ease, witches. Disconnect. Leave that there until you think you are done with all this. And then just trash it. You know, maybe some of you guys can put it in a place in which you don't have to even come back ever again. I mean, you can do that at any time. You don't have to do it before going to bed. But I personally think that when you do stuff like this before going to bed, this simple ritual will make you feel better. And I just want you to understand there's many ways for you to feel better and get things out of you and into your enemy. And having said all this, which is understand that many times you are not going to see proof that your spell is working. If somebody is feeling terror in their mind, they're not going to tell you. They're not going to show you. Maybe you'll be able to notice a change in the person. If the person, for example, works with you, chances are that you're not going to see proof of anything working, which Just trust the process. You have sent energy out of you and into the universe. That is going to create a chain reaction. Trust the process. I love you, witches. I really do. I really wish you the best with this. Good luck. Thank you so very much for being here yet one more Monday. If you like this video, please do not forget to give it a like, hit the subscribe channel, and hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every week. And remember to comment and share. You help me a lot when you do that, witches. Remember that you can contact me in Facebook and White Raven and Witches Lair. And also you can email me in my website, whiteravenandwitcheslair.com. There's a lot of products in my website, witches, that you can use for all your magical endeavors. White Raven and witcheslair.com, a lot of new stuff. These awesome, super wicked hexing tea lights for magic on the go. You can use them for when you are in a rush. There's also love tea light candles, and I also did prosperity tea light candles. You're gonna find Florida water, you're gonna find my salts in there, you're gonna find my soaps in there, and a lot of other things. And watch out for the videos. I may be doing more videos on how to make a voodoo doll and some other stuff. Other than that, witches, it is always awesome talking to you, witches. I love my Magic Mondays. Please make sure to what? To study, to research, to do more research, because knowledge is power. The more you research, the more you know. And with all that knowledge, you gotta discern, and you gotta stay what? So very wicked. I love you, witches. See you next Monday. Bye.